there was a strong possibility that more stimulus checks will be sent out. In fact, some seniors will receive a $1,400 stimulus check if they qualify for this. Welcome back to the channel, folks. This is your fourth stimulus check update and daily news report. Everybody, President Biden has not thrown out his support for this.
Long neglected needs of working families in terms of our children, in terms of healthcare, in terms of the elderly, and by the way, in terms of addressing the existential threat of climate change.
In fact, he has not said anything yet about a fourth stimulus payment yet. This week, there's an increasing number of lawmakers that are beginning to publicly break with the president. Cori Bush, for instance, said that cutting off unemployment benefits has been proven to do nothing to get people back to work in a crisis. She believes that we need to bring back federal unemployment assistance, and she's a co-sponsor of this new unemployment assistance bill. Once this bill gets approved, you can apply for unemployment benefits.
My plan benefits ordinary Americans, not those at the top who don't need the help. It's a historic middle-class tax cut, cutting taxes for over 50 million families. My Republican friends are making a different choice, though.
And you can also apply for more stimulus relief and even rental assistance, which could be included in President Biden's infrastructure bill. Now, without high-level party support, the fate of the bill could help more than 30 million unemployed individuals and families. During the event, Ocasio-Cortez said that while she was on a commitment to proposing and fighting for the bill, she will work hard for it. And on September 16th, a group of 13 members of the House Progressive Caucus sent a letter to Nancy Pelosi and even Chuck Schumer, arguing that the reconciliation package should include funds to improve state and federal unemployment system. The group actually believes that this measure should be included. They stated that our nation is now left with a system that denies life-saving resources to over 2/3 of our unemployed neighbors. Unemployment, everybody, is still going on. In fact, there are many people unemployed now more than ever. The expiration of these programs impacts those who claim benefits, and that's approximately about 26 million family and household members who rely on unemployment alone. These programs serve their purpose throughout the crisis, folks. We have to remember that. The U.S. Census Bureau has released new data showing that the programs prevented 5.5 million individuals.
Here's a quote, Mr. President, to start the day. I do think we're in a very serious danger of repeating almost all the mistakes of the 1960s and early 1970s.
From falling into poverty. And when you add the impacts of the two stimulus checks sent in 2020, this number is boosted to 11.7 million. Now, for more stimulus checks, specifically in the state of California. Well, everybody, at least 10 states across the country are now sending out state stimulus payments. And here's how to know if you qualify for more stimulus assistance. And here's how to know if you qualify for more stimulus assistance from your state governor. In the state of California, they have started sending out the Golden State stimulus checks for either $500 or $600. Recipient households must earn between $30,000 to $75,000 to get the checks. And households with dependents can get an extra $500. In Tennessee and Georgia, full-time teachers and administrators are getting $1,000 with $500 to going to part-time teachers. Vermont will also cover relocation costs for frontline workers, including nurses and janitors. In New Mexico, $5 million being parceled out to residents who were not eligible for the 3 stimulus checks. And President Biden and Congress have helped out many families through the child tax credit payment. In fact, it has provided millions of families with direct monthly payments of up to $300 per month, of up to $300 per child. This all started in July. Thank you for watching, everybody. I truly appreciate everyone's amazing support. If you have any more questions surrounding the fourth stimulus check, your unemployment benefits, and Social Security benefits, then be sure to leave them in the comments below. I'll do my very best to get back to you, folks. Thank you for watching. Until next time, have a great day.
That, Mr. President, is Larry Summers, the senior advisor to 2 Democratic presidents, about the risk of inflation we face today. As one report explained, quote, the former Treasury Secretary has been warning since February that President Joe Biden's big spending agenda was creating the risk of an inflation spike this year, potentially cutting into the economic recovery. But Washington Democrats have spent trillions of dollars on pet liberal projects. They've been printing and wasting money like there's no tomorrow, and American families are hurting as a result. Inflation has more than overtaken the average worker's wage growth since last year. Employers are raising wages higher and higher, but their workers' paychecks go less and less far. Families' incomes and savings are eroding right before their eyes. Democrats have done this proudly, on a party line basis. Back in 2020, during the teeth emergency, Congress worked across party lines to pass massive rescue packages that Republicans and Democrats had written together. Virtually every serious expert agreed that after the last relief bill that we passed in December, the economy was primed and ready to go. But our Democratic colleagues wanted more. Like they admitted from the start, they wanted to use the crisis to, quote, restructure things to fit their vision, end quote, from a temporary emergency to permanent socialism. They bragged the partisan bill they passed in March was the most left-wing legislation in American history. Now they want to dwarf that bill with a reckless taxing and spending spree that would cost trillions more and bury the country in job tax hikes. When it comes to spending and the economy, President Biden, Speaker Pelosi, and the Democratic leader have made a conscious decision. They don't want Republican governing partners. They want to go it alone. Well, with one exception, just one exception. No, Republicans won't have any input into the massive, reckless taxing and spending spree that will stick middle-class families with higher costs, lower wages, and a socialist country they didn't vote for. But Democrats do want Republicans' help with just one thing. They want us to help raise the credit limit to make it happen. They want us to help clear the path for their partisan job agenda, which we oppose. So let's make this perfectly clear in case anybody's in doubt. The debt suspension that just expired in August automatically covered the borrowing that had been accumulated before that date. This is a discussion about the future. This isn't the last 4 years when we were reaching bipartisan government funding agreements, bipartisan appropriations, and bipartisan bills. Democrats have made a different choice. They want to make policy all by themselves, so they can come up with the financing on their own as well. The Democratic leaders have every tool and procedure they need to handle the debt limit on a partisan basis, just like they're choosing to handle everything else.